Assalamu alaikum, my dear students. Hope all of you are fine by the grace of Almighty Allah. I'm Imdadul Haq Milan, lecturer in English, Raju Gupta Model College. After a long time, I have got back to you with a new lecture. My today's lecture is on sentence connectors. This is the first part of my lecture on sentence connectors. In this part of my lecture, I'll cover up half of the sentence connectors, and in my next lecture, I'll cover up the rest of the sentence connectors. So if you're ready, let's get started. In today's lecture, I'm going to share with you a slideshow presentation. Sentence connectors. This is my first lecture on sentence connectors for the students of class 9 and 10. Now, we will move on to the slideshow. Sentence connectors. At first, I will discuss the definition of sentence connectors. Sentence connectors are used to link ideas from one sentence to the next and give paragraphs coherence. Coherence means the quality of being logical and consistent. Sentence connectors are very important for giving sentences logic and consistency. In other words, some words or phrases provide link with different independent sentences to maintain a flow of expression. That is to say, sentence connectors are used to link large group of words, phrases, and sentences. Hence, sentence connectors are also known as linking words, linkers, or connectives. Even in this definition, I have used three sentence connectors. At first, I have used the sentence connector in other words. In other words is a sentence connector which is used to say something in an alternative manner. Here, I am defining sentence connectors in an alternative manner with the use of this sentence connector in other words. My next sentence connector is that is to say. That is to say is such a sentence connector which is used to explain something. I have taken the help of this sentence connector to explain sentence connectors in a more vivid manner. And my final or concluding sentence connector in this definition is hence. Hence means for this reason or therefore. When we have reached a conclusion for some kind of reason or for a cause, in that case we can use hence. Let us now turn to the sentence connectors of contrast. In this slide, I'll discuss the sentence connectors which are related to contrast. Contrast means dissimilarity or difference. Okay, these are the sentence connectors which are mainly used to mean dissimilarity or difference. And the sentence connectors of contrast are, on the other hand, on the contrary, in contrast, in spite of, despite, notwithstanding, though, although, even though, yet, but, still, whereas, however, while, conversely, instead, alternatively, otherwise, unlike. All these sentence connectors are used to mean dissimilarity or difference. Okay, let us now give some examples. The first example is Bangladesh is a small country. On the other hand, she has a large population. In this example, we have used the sentence connector on the other hand. In spite of being a small country, Bangladesh has a large population. Bangladesh is a small country, should have a small population. Despite being a small country, Bangladesh has a big population. For this reason, we have used the sentence connector on the other hand. Another example is Dhaka is a mega city. However, there is severe environment pollution in Dhaka. Dhaka is a mega city. A mega city is supposed to prevent environment pollution. In spite of being a mega city, Dhaka city has been unable to prevent environment pollution. For this reason, we have used the sentence connector however. Here you find two opposite ideas, or here we find two sentences opposite in ideas. For this reason, we have used the sentence connector however. Still another example is Rafiq failed in the last exam, yet he does not pay much attention to his studies. Rafiq failed in the last exam. A student who failed in an exam is supposed to pay much more attention to his or her studies. Although Rafiq is a failed student, he is not that much attentive to his studies. In spite of being attentive to his studies, he remains inattentive to his lessons, to his studies. For this reason, we have used the sentence connector yet. The final example is Saurabh did not look for a job after his post-graduation. And the sentence connector is instead. He started farming in his own village. What is supposed for a postgraduate? A person who has completed his or her post-graduation is supposed to look for a job. But Saurabh did not do it at all. Saurabh did not look for a job after completing his post-graduation. Instead of looking for a job, he started farming in his own village. For this reason, we have used the sentence connector instead. Let us now move on to the next slide. In this slide, we will discuss those sentence connectors which are used to mean similarity or likeness. Okay, these are the sentence connectors which are used to indicate similarity or likeness. Similarly, in the same way, in the same manner, in the similar fashion, likewise, correspondingly. All these sentence connectors are used to mean similarity or likeness. Okay, let us now give a few examples. The first example is light removes darkness. Similarly, education removes ignorance. In this example, we have drawn a similarity between light and education. Light is quite capable of removing darkness. In the same way, education is quite capable of removing ignorance. In this way, we have drawn a similarity between light and education. So we have used the sentence connector similarly. Another example is industry is the key to success. Likewise, success is the key to satisfaction. In this example, we have drawn a similarity between industry and success. Industry paves the way to success. In the same manner, success paves the way to satisfaction. For this reason, we have used the sentence connector likewise to mean similarity. Let us now move on to the next slide. In this slide, I will discuss those sentence connectors which are used to give any extra information. Okay, these sentence connectors are used to give extra information. What are these sentence connectors to give extra information? Besides, moreover, furthermore, further, in addition, additionally. On the plus side, What is more, on top of that, another point is to. All these sentence connectors are used to give any extra information. Let us now give a few examples. The first example is Mr. Moinuddin does the job. Besides, he runs a small business. Mr. Moinuddin renders his service in an institution or in an organization or somewhere else. Apart from doing a job, he runs a business. For this reason, we have used the sentence connector besides. Mr. Moinuddin does a job. Side by side, he runs a small business. Another example is the girl does all household chores. On top of that, she takes care of her old grandparents. Apart from doing all domestic work, the girl takes care of her old grandparents. That is to say, her duties and responsibilities are not confined to doing household chores only. Besides doing household chores, she has to take care of her old grandparents. For this reason, we have used the sentence connector on top of that. Let us now move on to the next slide. In this slide, I am going to discuss those sentence connectors which are associated with exemplification. Exemplification means to define or to explain something through examples or through illustrations. The following sentence connectors are used to give examples. And what are the sentence connectors that are used to give examples? These sentence connectors are, for example, for instance, to illustrate, such as, namely. Let us now take a glance at the first example. There are different infectious diseases which may cause untimely death of people. For example, coronavirus or COVID-19 is a life-threatening infectious disease which has already claimed the lives of many people. In this example, we have used the sentence connector for example to focus on an infectious disease. There are different infectious diseases in the world. In this sentence, we have used coronavirus as an example. So we have used the sentence connector for example. Okay, we have to keep in mind that for example and for instance are the sentence connectors which are used before a sentence or before a clause to mean or to give any example. To illustrate is also used to illustrate is also used before a sentence or a clause. However, such as and namely are not used before sentences or before clauses. Such as and namely are used before phrases or words to give examples. Okay, in my second example, we will find out that such as is being used before words to give examples. Okay, now go through the second example. Rajaguttara Model College offers a wide range of extracurricular activities such as debate, music, dance, sports, arts, photography, volunteering, and so on. In this example, we have used such as to give examples, and such as has been used here before words: debate, music, dance, sports, arts, photography, volunteering. All these are words. So Such as is a sentence connector which is used before words or phrases to give examples. Let us now move on to the next slide. In this slide, I'm going to focus on those sentence connectors which are used to put importance on something or which are used to put emphasis on something. What are these sentence connectors that are used for emphasis? These are the sentence connectors that are used for putting importance or emphasis on something. These sentence connectors are in fact, as a matter of fact, actually, indeed. Let us now give an example. Our principal is a man of principles. In fact, he follows his principles everywhere and never deviates from them. In this example, we have used the sentence connector in fact to put emphasis on the fact that our principal maintains all his principles and a deviation is never seen in terms of maintaining his principles. So we have used the sentence connector in fact to put importance on the fact that our principal is to stick to his principles. Let us now move on to the next slide. Result. In this slide, I'm going to focus on those sentence connectors which are used to mean result or consequence or outcome. What are the sentence connectors that are used to mean result or consequence? These sentence connectors are used to mean result or consequence. These sentence connectors are as a result, as a consequence, as an outcome, consequently. Let us now give a few examples. This is the first example to illustrate the sentence connectors of result. The boy used to move here and there without wearing a mask. As a result, he got infected with coronavirus. Okay, we have used the sentence connector as a result to mean the result or the consequence of not wearing a mask or the result of moving here and there aimlessly. The boy was in the habit of moving here and there, and he did not put on a mask. We know that coronavirus pandemic is ongoing. So during this ongoing coronavirus pandemic, every person is supposed to wear a mask when he or she goes out. But the boy did not wear any mask, and the boy did not take any protection. Rather, he used to move here and there aimlessly. And what was the result of his moving here and there aimlessly? And what was the result of his not wearing a mask? The result was that coronavirus attacked him, or he got contracted coronavirus. So the result was that he was attacked with coronavirus. For this reason, we have used the sentence connector as a result to mean a consequence or an outcome or a result. There is another example. Mir Jafar betrayed Nawab Siraj-ud-Dowla during the Battle of Palashi. Consequently, Bengal came under British domination. All of us have heard the names of Nawab Siraj-ud-Dowla and Mir Jafar. We know that Mir Jafar betrayed Nawab Siraj-ud-Dowla during the Battle of Palashi. And what was the result of his betrayal? The result of his betrayal was that Nawab Siraj-ud-Dowla was defeated in the Battle of Palashi and he lost his country forever. So we have used the sentence connector consequently. After the fatal defeat of Nawab Sirajuddaulah in the Battle of Palashi, Bengal came under British rule, or Bengal came under British domination, or the Britishers started ruling over Bengal. So we have used a sentence connector consequently to mean a result or a consequence or an outcome through these examples. In today's lecture, I have focused on half of the sentence connectors. In my next lecture, I will cover up the rest of the sentence connectors. Hope all of you have understood what I have taught in today's lecture. In my next lecture, I will appear before you with the rest of the sentence connectors. Till then, stay home, stay safe.